Bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and heroes. Gonna tell you about
comic books, costumes,
Facts, boots.
and other stuff.
In this week's issue, the Weird.
Welcome into Bros, Foes, and Heroes. I'm Zach, joined as always by the mighty man wonder, Mr. Mike.
Whoa, mighty.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I
That's a lot.
pepper it up.
It's a lot to live up to.
Well, we've already decided that you do have a lot to live up to, and just like with a lot of people's expectations for me, we always tend to fail. So it's fun.
Well, there is one thing that is nice about being older. You learn to set the bar low.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Under promise, over deliver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you find and are able to do like small, manageable goals.
Yeah.
Once you get that stuff done, you actually feel like you did something.
That's true.
Yeah.
You got it. I love a good list.
Yeah.
Being able to
I do
cross
too.
things off.
Ooh.
Oh, I
do too.
and this is not very world friendly of me or whatever, but
You like to handwrite it?
if I could put it on a Post-it note, every single task, and then crumple it up at the end and throw it away.
Oh, see,
Ooh.
I like a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to be able to then like scribble it out.
Yeah, that's
until-
good too.
And then when it's done, then crumple it.
That's very good too.
and
Yeah,
try
Yeah.
to shoot
Kobe.
it too. Yep.
Kobe.
R.I.P.
Sure.
Um.
Whatever.
Wow. All right. Well, before our
I'm sorry.
podcast takes a weird dark basketball turn,
Yeah.
unless that's the kind of podcast you want to hear,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah.
What we have this week, I told you, was something that I was going into blind as well as you this week because
Yeah,
I knew
man.
nothing about it. I went to,
Oh, this is the one from the sale.
I just went to a Friends of the Library sale to sponsor our local library, and I found an entire issue miniseries, if
Yeah.
you will, from 1988 in
Yeah.
DC called The Weird.
Can I tell you how excited I already am about this by the ad on the back of the 4th issue?
What is that? On
I
the
know
back of?
exactly who they are targeting here, right? Because there's a Dungeons and Dragons ad on the back of this
But
sucker.
but it's not directly Dungeons and Dragons. It's
no,
the
it's TSR though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What does TSR stand for?
Texas,
I didn't know if you know.
Texas silly
Snake Rodeo.
rodeo. Texas Snake Rodeo. I love that.
They've put out the Forgotten Realms
I would put that on a
here's
shirt.
what's
Texas
so
Snake
funny.
Rodeo.
because I'm glad that you found interest in the ads.
Yeah.
Because going through the story,
Oh, I bet.
it's weird,
Is it?
I guess, but it's not like
It's the weird.
it's the weird. It's not. It's very like a lot of the same stuff over and over again, and
Yeah.
it takes 4 issues to tell a story that you could tell on one.
Right.
But there are some great ads for stuff that we're going to get to talk about throughout, Mike. So that is the beauty of this, of having
Is that
an
what
actual.
this show becomes? It's just all about ads.
only when I feel like the story is just kind of like here's.
I got you.
It's so hard to explain. I guess just we'll peel the cover back a little bit, and this is at least my thought process. It's easier to do certain superhero comics, more of the sci-fi, and even in some instances fantasy. Just especially there, I feel like in the '80s, late '80s, like this, there's a lot of
Yeah.
like space opera stuff going on, or maybe
Oh,
it's the
yeah.
tail end of that.
Yeah.
Maybe when
Yeah.
all of the
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that it's hard to explain over an audio podcast because there's so much going on
Yeah. Sure.
or so much backstory they try to create.
Yeah.
So in a story like this, that's trying to tell a very complex story for, spoiler alert, a character who only lasts 4 issues, then
Really?
we're going to focus on the ads.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
Just
cool.
because it's
Yeah,
the name is
I love
behind this. I was excited going in just because I didn't know what to expect, obviously.
Yeah.
Jim Starlin is the writer on this. And also, it does say I should open it up so I can give credit to everybody. Where's the front one?
Well, that's just a chips galore.
That was so writer and creators Jim Starlin, artists are Bernie Wrightson and Dan Green for this series. Jim Starlin, want to give and remember
not Starling, but Starlin.
Starlin.
Okay.
Starlin. Starlin.
Okay. All right.
He is known as co-creator for Thanos.
Oh,
Drax the Destroyer.
wow.
Like a lot of Marvel's more space themed people, Jim Starlin had a hand in. So it makes sense that he would do another space type book.
Yeah.
I don't know if they expected this to go anywhere and it just didn't, but for a 4-issue series, it is what it is. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into the weird.
Can I ask you something real quick while we're on the subject of space and all that stuff? So I was reading Twitter. I don't know if that's even a thing. Are you reading Twitter? Or are you just
read
looking
tweets?
at Twitter?
Yeah,
okay.
No.
And they were talking about the James Gunn takeover of DC.
Yes.
And apparently Aquaman now wants to be Lobo.
I saw that.
Do you know anything about Lobo? Because I don't know that much about Lobo.
A little bit.
Lobo seems to be the DC version of Deadpool to me.
In a way.
He's a little bit of a comic character.
Yeah. He's still like a mega kind of badass.
Yeah.
And like
he's also
he's like a space biker.
Space biker.
I mean,
I thought he was like a hired killer kind of thing.
No, he's a bounty hunter too.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, just his general theme is kind of like space biker.
He's got the black eyes, the long hair.
Black hair, like blue skin. It's
looks
red eyes,
looks like a roadie, basically.
But a very, very buff, like Patrick Stewart in Roadhouse, except buffer.
Patrick Stewart?
Not Patrick Swayze.
That's a very different movie you're pitching.
All right, hear me out.
Yeah, that's right.
Dirty Dancing. But with Sir Ian
Sir Ian McKellen. Sure. Yeah. And who plays the girl?
Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench.
This is wonderful.
If I'm adding Sir, I should say Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if you knew much about Lobo.
I mean, I know a little bit.
I mean, is that exciting to you or not?
That's cool. I'm all for. I think that you get better performances out of people if they're really stoked to play it.
Sure.
A la Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yeah,
like I think it just fits. So
Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh,
Same
yeah.
deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not to say that he wasn't good as Aquaman, like he was, but if like he fits, like he looks like that role already, kind of.
Yeah.
I think his attitude, like I think that's a lot of it too. Is also the actors who portray them. I feel super nerdy for saying this, but I feel like they kind of are, in a sense, the characters in a way. Whereas RDJ is that kind of like, I'm not saying he's not a nice guy, but he can kind of be off just that kind of arrogant, like rich.
Who is RDJ?
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Sorry,
okay.
you brought up
now.
Iron Man.
I'm caught up now. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Ryan Reynolds is a guy who never takes anything seriously.
When you think about those two, they're a lot alike.
Yeah,
they're both, and my wife gets onto me because I like those guys, the Bill Murrays, the Chevy Chases, they're
well,
assholes.
Chevy Chase is an asshole.
They're all assholes. When you think
I don't
about
know
it,
all of them.
When you think
Bill
about
Murray, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying the characters they play. They're always like know-it-all asshole kind of, and I love that. That's because.
So you think that's
a little bit of a mirror?
That's
I
Robert
think,
Downey Jr.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
1,000.
Which fits with Tony Stark to a T.
It fits Tony Stark. Yeah, 100%.
So that's what I'm saying. Like Ryan Reynolds is a guy who it fit. Like he never takes anything seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just like Deadpool's a character, never really takes. Like it just.
Yeah. No, it is the fit.
There's something Aquaman's never been much of a jokey character.
No.
Not to say that Jason Momoa can't be serious.
I just don't get fish humor.
No. You don't, because I told you the fish sticks joke from South Park.
That's right. Yeah,
and you didn't know it.
I didn't really. Yeah.
So you don't get fish humor, but he does seem more like a guy who is obviously able to like just have a good time, make fun of himself, and be funny in general. So I think that he fits more with a kind of like, badass, funny bounty hunter, kind of like Lobo.
He's in that C also, right? SEE thing on Apple. Yeah,
I've heard good things.
I think my wife watches it.
I've never. I mean, the people I know who watch it love it, but
Yeah, that should have been a podcast.
See,
Yeah, because everybody's blind. Why you got visuals?
well, I mean, you want to see what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's kind of like everybody's blind, but you
I guess.
and the people sitting next to you watching popcorn
I
while you
thought
watch.
that
Well,
was-
no, you're watching on Netflix.
thought
Did
that
we
was gonna
talk
be a
about what
much
I went to?
better joke.
We haven't really talked about.
What are you talking
And
about?
this is like putting off. Did I tell you I went and saw a anime movie in theaters last week?
No, you did not tell me that.
All right, let's go ahead and move past it then. So
No, you need to tell me about that. What
Yeah.
did you see in theaters that was an anime movie?
I went and saw. Have you ever heard of the anime One Piece?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, it released a new movie.
Uh-huh.
And,
Well, I'm glad it wasn't an old movie.
Well,
You went
yeah,
to
yeah,
see it
yeah.
at the theaters.
And my
It was $1 cinema.
my
Mhm.
brother, who not necessarily a One Piece fan, is just a general anime fan, and there's different things he likes, and he just thought, it would kind of be cool just to go to like a opening because it was opening night, just to be like, hey, we did it, and he
Sure.
thought with the amount of ads like they are for this, because he said like it seemed like it was.
I've never seen an ad for
See,
it.
that's so I had, but it's probably because we were targeted.
Yeah.
But either way,
Yeah. You did see an ad?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but
Where did you see this ad?
saw one on YouTube. Saw someone online.
Really?
Yeah.
They just started popping up for you, huh?
I mean, not a
Here,
lot.
let me
but a
let me
little
try
bit.
something real quick. One Piece. I'm gonna see if it
Just
shows.
wait.
Yeah, I want to see if it shows up on my phone later. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's like One Piece Red or something like that.
Oh, One Piece Red.
Uta. That was the character's name in it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So then I, being the terrible person I am, thought I enjoy anime too. I
Right.
also enjoy to people watch.
Okay.
So I am down for going to
So this is kind of like going to a con or
an
something.
anime.
for
Yeah.
you,
Not okay.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to sound like it's me going, because I love being around. I'm jealous of people. That's how it is. What at the core of it, I'm jealous that I feel like people are able to be themselves and show up and be whoever they want to for whatever they want to support. At the same
I'll
time,
tell you a super secret.
yeah,
Nobody does. Everybody's pretending. Everybody.
I know.
Everybody's pretending.
Fair enough. But so I like just going and seeing just the pageantry of like you said, like going to cons, so just people loving the things they love. So I was like, well, then yeah, like if you
That's
keep
why I go
telling
to
me
swinger parties and just watch.
they don't kick you out.
No,
If-
no, they need the voyeur.
Oh, okay.
They need that one guy who
They
takes
do- they-
notes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the
You're the minutes reader.
I'm the minutes reader. Yeah, I'd like to read the minutes from. Would you stop? It's a lot of that.
No. That's
Give her keys back.
that's the third fishbowl we've lost this week. So
And you want to see people scramble? Break a fishbowl in the middle of one of those things.
oh yeah,
Oh boy, everybody gets up.
yeah. Well, there's glass everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody gets up and runs.
Oh man. All right, we've lost this. I don't even know where I
sorry.
was going with this.
No, the
Oh.
One Piece.
Well,
yeah.
okay, so we go, we see it. It's okay movie.
Was it good?
Aside from us, there was only like 6 other people in the theater.
And they were all wearing
It was
mascot
me.
costumes
No,
and
nobody
furry
was.
tails.
No, nobody was. It was me and my brother and 2 of our friends.
And an elderly
And
couple.
then it was like a dad and 3 of his kids.
My God,
And then it was like one guy by himself who was wearing a One Piece t-shirt. That's the
Yeah.
most we got.
that guy.
And then like 2 other random dudes. That was all that was in there to watch it. Decent movie. So I didn't get to really people watch. Decent movie, but
you get the person
we
watch,
get done-
not people watch.
that's it. We get done and we come out and I'm like, all right, I guess, I watched what it is. What I did also to try to be like, I'm going to take this serious to make it mean more to my brother.
Right.
So like I watched like a video, like a 15-minute video of somebody explaining.
Like explaining the One Piece
One
world
Piece,
or whatever.
exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, 15 to 20 minutes is extremely shortened of what's out there
Yeah, because
because
it's been around for years.
since
Yeah.
it debuted, I'm pretty sure in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So we are talking about
When I had my video stores, we had those DVDs. So yeah, it's been around for a while.
yeah. So I think it was the late 90s. They're over 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
So I watched all this.
They really fall off after about 998.
know the manga is equally as
Yeah.
long too. So I watched the whole video, like 15, 20 minutes, which is super condensed, but still I'm putting in the effort. I feel like
Yeah, you're a good brother.
we get done with the movie and he goes, just found out this movie's not canon.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my god.
I watch.
He punched him and left.
No.
Here's your One Piece.
He laughs like, cause just like, I'm sorry. Like,
Oh.
cause I did that. And he was like, oh, that's nice. You know, and then it didn't. And he's laughing. But yeah, so I went and watched a non-canon One Piece movie after spending 15 to 20 learning about One Piece.
Yeah.
Now, with all those.
Think about that on your deathbed.
There you go.
You're just
All
like, I need those
those.
15 minutes.
Yeah. That's okay. Instead, I watched a movie where it just woke some questions inside me about maybe things I do and do not like.
What?
So,
What are you talking
let's go ahead
about?
and talk about the weird.
What are you talking about? You can't just.
I was
you
making
can't-
a joke.
Oh,
I was just making
okay.
a joke
All right. Okay.
about like, maybe like
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now, but I thought you were being serious. Okay.
no, we're not going to talk about
That's fish humor.
the
I didn't get it.
There you go. Well, let's talk about space humor.
The weird.
The weird. And what we'll do is go ahead and I'll present it to you in 2 parts, Mike.
Wonderful.
The 4 issues we will break up into part 1 and a part 2.
Okay.
And some of this we will get through pretty quick because it does not matter. And I'm not going to waste your
Yeah,
time
I
explaining
get that.
it.
And
Just-
this is DC.
This is DC just
Mm-hmm.
because this is a character, again, that appeared in these 4 issues in 1988. And then I
Okay.
think appeared in like something else Starlin did in like 2006.
Okay.
And then like
It's a
once
character
again
he
in the
just
new
never
52.
got off the ground.
Yeah, I don't know if they had bigger plans for him. It doesn't make sense, or maybe they just needed like, hey, anybody got a small 4-issue story they
Sure,
can tell.
Sure.
Here's what it is. A lot of DC characters are in here though, so we do get to talk about them some too. Basically, all of the it's like Justice. It's JLI. I don't know what it stands for. It's a
Justice League
version.
International.
Is it international?
I don't know.
Well, somebody
It's
said
made
JLI. It's some form of the Justice League, but I will
Sure.
tell you the members we have in it that are our heroes that you're used to in this story.
Justice League. Aye.
Batman is there.
Okay.
Superman is there.
Love him.
John Johns, aka Martian Manhunter.
Boy.
Green-
There was a steep drop off.
Green Lantern, but
Gross.
Guy Gardner Green
I
Lantern.
don't even know what that means.
I found out everybody apparently one of the least favorite Green Lanterns. Blue Beetle,
Okay.
Black Canary, who does not look like Black Canary,
Okay.
and Dr. Fate.
Oh, Dr. Fate, who's in the new Black Adam movie.
Yes. So those are our DC heroes here.
Okay.
And then we will get introduced to everybody else.
Okay.
As they come in, the familiar characters,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So we open with, and again, I'll speed through some of this.
Yeah, sure.
Because Superman's like acting like Batman sitting mopey on top of a skyline in Metropolis.
It's raining.
Then we are transported to this guy walking in to his apartment. It's raining outside. We see that a name on the apartment says Jason Morgan. He's going to be our villain, for the most part. Just
Okay.
heads up.
Okay.
He goes into his bathroom
The
and he
dreaded
turns,
Jason Morgan.
the
Sure.
dreaded Jason Morgan. He goes into his bathroom and he is like summoning some sort of energy bridge.
Wow.
But when he does and creates this energy bridge, like it also turns half of his skin into some sort of crystals. So he's like half crystal, half human.
Plus, he gets free Funyuns
Yep.
out of the deal. Yeah. There's
That's
like
the energy bridge.
big yellow circles.
So all of a sudden
Oh, boy.
he crafts, I'm telling you,
He turned the page.
he crafts this crystal out of it, and the energy force from this crystal that Jason Morgan has crafted just gets up and leaves just out the window of his apartment.
There it goes.
The crystal he summons, crumbles to dust. He's upset. This ball of energy, we'll stop for ads real quick. Don't be furious. Get curious is one of the ads.
Do you remember that show? You
No,
ever
I
seen
don't.
That show?
Contact.
3, 2.
Oh,
One.
one. Contact. Yes.
Is the reason. Is the yeah.
So we
It's
have
all about science.
We have an ad for that. We also have an ad for the Warlord. episode number 1 or issue number 129, 130,
Yeah.
131.
Maddox
for
Revenge,
DC.
boy.
Yeah. And then also some of those prizes and cash you can win.
Prizes for cash.
Back to our story.
This was okay. Just real quick. I'm sorry. This is Sales Leadership Club. It was an MLM
For
for
kids?
children. That's exactly what this is. Yes, you would sell seeds or whatever the hell they were hawking at the moment,
Let me see what they're selling here.
and then you could win all these great cash and prizes. Yeah, it was about getting your friends involved. You're selling to your family, all that stuff.
It says, we'll send you a free sales album displaying quality all occasion cards, notes,
There it is.
personalized stationery, gift wrap, address books, recipe books, children's gifts. And you know what this is now? This is essentially the same thing. And I know this because I have nieces and nephews who are in
it's
preschools and kindergartens
you
and
get from
stuff like
school.
that. It's
Yeah.
the fundraiser thing, just a different form of it. So.
Yeah, but I remember that they pushed, selling to your friends, your family, all that kind of stuff.
They did this when we were in school too.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't from the So
MLM for kids.
back to our story. This energy ball is now hovering over Metropolis. It gets Superman's attention.
And it says Khartoum.
Yeah, he goes out to check it out, and when he touches it, the energy basically hurls him like 3 miles away.
Oh, come back,
So
Superman.
it's got a lot of power. By the time he gets back, is it the Atom is there too? Sorry, I forgot. The Atom is also one of our Justice League members at the time.
Atom?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look too hard to.
There's Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
He's standing around.
So
He got nothing better to do.
no, they're all hovering around this energy. They don't know essentially what it is.
So he is a Martian who hunts men.
I don't know.
Is that right? That's why he's Martian Manhunter.
You're asking the wrong
I don't
guy.
know anything
I didn't know
about
I was
his
going to
backstory.
be asked about Martian Manhunter,
okay.
so I didn't prep
All right.
for Martian
Okay.
Manhunter.
I got you.
I know very little about Martian Manhunter.
I know he shows up at the end of that damn movie.
Yeah, the Zack Snyder Justice League one.
The Jack Sparrow cut.
So again, I'm going to save you this. Essentially, what happens is this bolt of energy has another wave that kind of causes a giant blackout through all Metropolis.
Yeah.
So they realize they're dealing with a powerful entity. And while
But now we got Green Lantern.
Green Lantern's been there.
Oh, okay.
So Green Lantern, who
That's
wears
how impressive Green Lantern is. He's
this
just been there the whole time. Nobody
this
realized
stupid
it.
lapel and this stupid orange bowl cut.
Uh-huh.
Guy Gardner, worst Green Lantern ever.
Okay. Hashtag.
But they have basically. See, I'm getting so confused. This is why I hate telling these. Let me just tell this without looking through.
Yeah, I got you.
You
Sure.
just look through it.
Yeah,
I'll just go through it.
Please.
So,
Khartoum.
basically, what happens is the energy beam flies off again, and Johns or Martian Manhunter goes and follows the energy beam and all the way to like a funeral home. And at the funeral home, while it's there, he witnesses the beam over the casket of this man at his funeral, and all of a sudden the body disappears.
Okay.
And then
Who is
the
this guy?
body he's never brought up again. He's just a doctor that's hanging out around Superman.
He's a doctor, but he's like 7 foot tall and weighs like 700 pounds, and he's like the most muscular person. He's bigger than Superman.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. I didn't pay it. I don't know. He doesn't come back. Maybe it's Cyborg.
Okay.
But I don't remember Cyborg ever being able to look fully human.
He's bigger than Superman.
Again, like Cyborg might be in stature.
He looks like the Hulk. I mean, he's that big. And he's wearing a sweatshirt that says "I eat roadkills."
I know.
And they didn't even bring that up.
Isn't Perry Mason? Isn't that who runs the? Not Perry Mason.
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason's.
We're getting so close with these names.
I'm just not having a good night.
Perry Mason.
Perry White.
He's the one in the wheelchair, right?
No, Perry White. Perry.
Yeah, Perry White.
Is that who runs the Daily Bugle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Perry. It's Perry. Is his first name.
I'm just gonna assume it's Perry Mason.
But
Crime fighter by night.
Remember, why don't I know I'm getting this one wrong, but he did go by this at one point in time. Remember, Larry Fishburne plays Perry in the
I do
Man of Steel.
remember that.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's
Yeah. No, man, this dude's too big.
yeah,
He's gigantic.
Lawrence Fishburne's
Yeah,
not
he's
7
very
foot
big.
tall.
And they never say. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And it says, oh, they're at a genetic research lab. That's where guys that played D1 football
Go when
usually
they're done,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, sorry.
this body,
We're at the funeral.
yeah, the body disappears.
Martian
and-
Manhunter's going to the funeral for
'cause
some reason.
Well, he's following the energy.
Oh, okay.
And the body disappears, and he goes and check, and it's like, yeah, body's gone. And the
Blue
wife
baby.
and the kid are like, what in the world?
Yeah,
And
where'd he
Martian
go?
Manhunter just leaves again.
Yeah.
Well, they have Green
Gotta go.
Lantern trap the energy. The ball of energy returns for them, and they
Okay.
have Green Lantern trap it.
God, he does look like an idiot with
Yeah.
that red hair.
And so they have him
Not
trap
that
it.
red-haired people are idiots. I'm just saying this is a
No,
bowl
he has
cut.
a
It looks
terrible
stupid.
bowl cut. Yeah. So Green Lantern traps the energy in his Green Lantern ring power.
Okay.
And this is what you're going to get explanation wise. So just be
Sure,
ready.
I got you. Yeah.
So,
Boy, look
and
at these
while
panels.
it's happening, yeah, essentially the
Who's this
energy
dude?
that's Dr. Fate.
Oh, okay.
The energy ball starts to turn into a human form.
Yeah.
And we see it like grow a skeleton
oh,
and
wow, look at
skin.
that. I thought it was going in reverse, but,
But
yeah.
and it turns out into a G.I. Joe ninja.
Yeah, that's pretty much what that is.
And so we get
Guy's wearing a black suit, and he's got pink headdress and the wraps around his arms and legs, and
the ones on the left are short, the ones on the right are long.
pirate boots.
Yeah, he looks kind of like a ninja. In a
He does
way.
look like a
G.I. Joe ninja.
He looks like he's going after G.I. Joe, yeah.
Yeah, he works for Snake.
Yeah.
So, but this guy, like, he just says, like, oh, no, birth, it's so taxing, and he faints.
Yeah.
So the Justice League take him to see, one of the doctors they have, and all the fluid they pull out of him is clear, and Superman uses his X-ray vision and is like, oh, his organs, they're not fully developed yet, but it looks like invisible hands are sculpting them. Yeah, it kind of sounds like something
What?
Nicolas Cage would say in a movie. So
Invisible hands.
that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
It's like, they're not formed yet.
They're not
but
fully formed.
the invisible hands. I guess it's kind of more of a Keanu than I'm doing.
It is a little bit Keanu.
So, we find out though that also his
Killed my dog.
this dude's molecular structure is really off balance.
Yeah.
So he could just
Well, no
combust, combust at any moment,
Yeah.
and by doing so, Superman estimates he has enough power to wipe out at least half the world.
Right.
Later on in the series, it's estimated the entire world. Like he's this.
Why does Mao Zedong show up?
That's damn it! I was gonna make an.
It's Barry White.
I was gonna make an Adventures in Odyssey reference, that conservative Christian audio program that everybody listened to, like I did. He ran it in called Wit's End. His name was Wit, but I don't remember his last name. But it's just like this old
It's an old general guy. Yeah.
army dude with like
Old
very
general
white,
army.
thick, bushy mustache.
Yeah.
But
Why
yeah,
is
he's like the
Superman's
main
head so
general
big?
here. And so
I'm
essentially,
sorry.
though, you're fine.
Yeah.
They
Why is
want.
Batman a cyborg?
He's not a cyborg.
He's got no color in his face.
He's just sick. So hospital food.
That's
So-
good. Yeah, good job.
Superman tells him like, "Hey, we can't let him go anywhere. We don't know about his he could just what could cause him to explode. We have to keep the people safe. Like, I have another emergency." He senses or he can hear plane crashing. He's like, "I have to go save this plane."
And this is Superman.
This is Superman talking.
I hear kittens fell on a well.
Yeah, but he's like,
whatever.
I
Sure.
got to go deal with something else. Can the rest of the Justice League make sure this guy doesn't do anything?
You got to remember, this is from our last episode. This is Super Dick all grown up. So
It
he's
is.
like, I got to go, guys.
Here's the thing. Some things happen in here that remind you, I just look off in the distance.
Yeah,
Sometimes we
yeah.
have an audience
I'm
for
just
some
looking.
reason.
I don't know. Yeah.
That I want to remind you that even though he was a dick as a kid,
Yeah.
usually it means he's a dick as an adult too.
That's true. Yeah.
Not
Can I make a reference
Yeah.
or can I make an
please.
observation here?
please.
This is giving me flashbacks to the whole I had sex with my mother and now I'm my own father Marvel thing that we did. The guy who
She
gave birth to her own-
Miss Marvel
Yeah.
or Captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels very much like that lead up to it where everybody's like, oh my God, where'd this guy come from? His organs are really weird.
It is
Yeah.
very much the same
Yeah.
buildup.
Okay.
Don't worry though, nobody's gonna have an incestuous relationship
God,
in this
yeah.
one. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
I was really hoping it'd be Green Lantern.
Yeah, you. Well, no, it's so bad. I don't know everything about him because obviously I don't know a lot about Green Lantern.
He looks like a villain.
He does, but I know that Guy Gardner eventually he doesn't last as a Green Lantern for long, and eventually in like '92, this is '88.
Yeah.
By '92, he had his own like series that was just called Guy Gardner, and then Guy Gardner the Warrior because he was no longer like a lantern, but they still had like Guy Gardner comics.
Why? Why is anybody fighting for this guy?
Hey,
he's terrible looking.
If our podcast is around long enough, which let's be honest, it probably will.
Sure.
We'll eventually get to why. We'll have an episode about Guy Gardner. You know what? I've been wanting. Here's the thing. I've been wanting to find a place to enter the Green Lantern mythos.
That's it.
What if I use Guy Gardner?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one where I puke.
There we go. I'll just make you hate him even more. So Superman leaves to go.
Okay. I'm sorry. I know we're still in issue 1, but they had to have a meeting about this dude. They go, yeah, we're really thinking the kids are going to identify with that chili bowl haircut of his.
I will say a lot of kids when I was in, granted, this was 88. I was born in 88.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids when I was in early elementary school, so like 93, 94.
Had the chili bowl?
Yeah. So maybe he was ahead of his time.
Okay. I don't want to be a part of that time. All right. Tell me about this dude, this ninja dude who's got the big eyeball.
Yeah. So that's the thing. We find out that apparently I'm going to save you a lot.
He's creepy looking.
That's true. I'm going to tell you his story without all the confusing names.
Okay.
And I'm just going to sum it up pretty easily. And then eventually later, when I just skip through a lot of pages, you'll know what I'm doing here.
Here's another shirt for us right here. Just the guy going, no, can't.
And he just, that's the thing. He has so much power that I should say like Martian Manhunter, because this guy gets up. Essentially, he gets the weird nickname from Guy Gardner, who's like, what's up with the weird?
Oh.
That's right. Worst Green Lantern ever, Guy Gardner. Named him the Weird. And so they just all call him the Weird.
Who's the girl here? Is she Black Canary?
Black Canary.
Okay. All right. Hey, look at me.
Remembering stuff.
Yeah, did it.
So the Weird, as he is now named, from Guy Gardner.
And he is weird. Like his eye looks like it's bulging out.
Well, we come to find out. So he is a form of energy.
It's macular degeneration.
He is like essentially, I'm going to get the names wrong, but I don't think anybody's going to remember the names really. And that's,
did you say he's pure energy?
He is pure energy.
Pure energy.
Pure energy.
That song?
What song?
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The one that starts pure energy.
No.
It's like the one they play in the freaking basketball arenas.
I never remember it starting with pure energy.
Really?
Maybe I was not paying attention.
Okay.
So the weird story here is
pure energy.
I'm going to tell it to you now. He tells it later, but we find out that he's just a form of all-powerful energy known as a Zarlot is what I think they're called.
Sure.
So
why not?
But what the Zarlots are known for...
Why not Zarlot?
They live in some weird Earth. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Zarolots.
Oh, that's a big difference. Yeah.
And
it's
basically
like
the Zarolots are fed on by these evil forces of energy called the Macrolots or the Macrolats, right?
Okay, sure.
And that's all there
Whatever
is.
you say, man.
That's all. I told you I went into this blind, Mike, or else I might have picked something else. But
yeah. No, it's great. I'm loving the names. I'm loving the fact that he's got a big, he looks like what's his face from Young Frankenstein?
Oh,
he looks like Marty Feldman.
Igor. Yeah.
Marty Feldman. Yeah.
So, but the Zarlot was basically the Macrolots just fed off the Zarlots until they were out of energy. Just listen
Everybody
to me.
Learned that in science class.
Until they were all used up of energy, and then the Zarlots just faded out of existence.
Okay.
And that's all it was. It was just like a parasitic.
Like
exactly.
Sure.
It was just a parasitic relationship. Well, this Zarlot was like, those things are evil. They finally found a portal to Earth because this guy named the Jason is what he calls him, but it's Jason, whatever his name
Alexander?
is. No, the blonde dude, Jason Morgan.
Oh, okay.
The Macrolots.
Oh, I completely forgot about him at this point.
I'm telling you this now just to explain how they get here.
Gotcha.
So the Macrolots.
Funyuns.
I've convinced him, like, he's basically the Jason is creating a portal. That's what he calls them.
I know. I just
So, but the Jason is creating a portal from their world to Earth, and the Macrolots want to come and just basically suck all the energy out of Earth, like all the life forces, everything. They just love to go
just
and
like
just.
my ex-wife.
Do you have an ex-wife?
I got 2.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm on my 3rd marriage.
Oh, congrats!
Yeah. Oh,
So,
thanks. Appreciate it. Nice job.
so. When you never know what to say.
Yeah, man, that's
I'm
good.
just sticking with congrats
I
on it
love
from this one.
Yeah, that's great.
But so basically, this Czar the Weird has decided to come through, and he broke the bridge. That's what we saw at the beginning. To try to keep the Macrolots from coming to Earth.
Okay.
So he's here
That
to
makes
stop.
a little bit of sense now.
So I'm at least explaining.
Yeah.
So this ball, our good ball of energy, known as the Weird, is coming to make sure the evil ball of energies, known as the Macrolots, don't come across the space bridge.
Got it. Sure.
And to get the space bridge to be created, I feel like I don't want to sound like I'm being, because I love things like this. And I know sometimes when I explain it, but this is just the simplest way I feel like I can explain it.
Sure.
And the only way they can come across is for the Jason guy to make the space bridge for them to come across. So the Weird wants to stop the Jason from to be able to doing it.
Right.
That is what he's after.
And that's why we celebrate Thanksgiving.
There we go.
Sure.
So now you know what is behind the Weird. The Justice League, though, doesn't want to take the time to talk to him about this.
No.
They're just like, hey, stay here. He's like, I got things to do.
There's planes crashing. There's kittens falling in
Well,
wells.
Superman has already left, right?
Yeah.
And
Like,
so
deuces, guys, I gotta go.
yeah, the rest of the Justice League is like, hey, stop. And they're like, he's like, no, I got other business to deal with. That's where Batman asks him, what's up with your appearance? And he's like, well, this is the first time.
What a rude question.
He does. Well, he then lets us know that, like, as a form of energy, usually they don't have any sort of host. He wanted to
this
find.
is the one he chose?
He chose the dead body because he didn't want to choose a host that was already.
This is the dead body.
Yes, the dead body
okay.
is this guy.
I got you.
Right?
Okay.
He didn't want to use an already living body.
Sure.
So he found, because he's not evil.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah,
So
good
he
job.
found one that wasn't being used. But
Good job, Zokalok.
this was his first
Whatever your
time
name is.
doing it. So he got off a little bit, obviously. So he can't pass as a normal person.
Okay.
So he's not going to blend in. He's just going to have to go straight to what he needs to do and go do it.
I'm with it now.
Right?
Gotcha. Yeah, good job.
All
by
of
the
the
way.
other Justice League keeps trying to stop him.
Yeah.
And they're like, your molecular compound, it's so unstable. We don't know what could set you off. We're here to protect Earth. Like, we have to make sure that you don't, like, we can't let you do anything.
Right, sure.
He keeps trying to get by him. Be prepared. A lot of this comic is just him battling the Justice League.
Gotham, it says.
Yes. So it's even to a point, and it just basically shows you how powerful the Weird is, because he outbests everybody. He outbests Green Lantern. He outbests, like, all these, like, more cosmic. The Atom can't stop him. There's a point where Dr. Fate uses a spell, and they're trying to suck him and send him into another dimension where nobody's around. And he basically just kind of shakes it off in a way.
So Dr. Fate is Doctor Strange, but DC?
Yeah, essentially, in
Okay.
a way.
All right. Gotcha.
I feel like that's the easiest way. Like, yes, I know there are
I don't mean
differences.
to.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
mean to, like,
But just
reduce
kind of
them
think,
to that.
yeah.
But it's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
So we get to another ad that I looked into from FCI Games. If you want to pick up these great games on your Nintendo Entertainment Center, or
Is this
center and your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Is this for the original Nintendo?
Yeah, the real NES.
Oh, very
yeah,
nice.
just the.
So can I
know.
tell you about these games real quick?
Do you know about them?
I don't know about these games necessarily, but I will tell you about a time, Zach, when you could buy video games at Eckerd's,
Okay.
the convenience store.
I feel like we've talked about
They-
this.
yeah,
but
yeah, we probably have.
That's fine.
I tend to repeat myself, but
I do, that's cool.
there were so many damn games at one time, and there were so many
Yes.
bad games.
It's the same way essentially now, in a way.
Really?
Not like, I'm not trying to knock the independent market or anything like that, but I think and maybe it's different in a way, but the availability of everything you have now online that you could buy to
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
it's similar in a sense. But I know what you're talking about, of where I remember as a kid, like there would be bins. I know, like talking about buying at like Montgomery Ward and stuff, and it'd be just like
Actually,
a bin.
you're right. This is fast forwarded. I'm thinking back to the Atari 2600
Oh, okay.
because there was a glut also there.
Yes.
Like there was, that Friday the 13th game,
that ET game that they buried,
the
like
ET game, the one
however many
Custer,
thousands of copies.
You know about Custer's Revenge?
Oh, the one where he shows his little dingaling with the
Well,
Indians.
it's a poor Indian lady who's tied up to a pole. She's naked.
Yeah.
This is all 8-bit too, so it's all
Yeah,
squares.
that's why
right?
you have like a
Square
little.
nipples. And there's arrows coming down, and the whole game is you trying to get to her to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a
Yeah.
whole game.
I remember that.
But that was X-rated.
Yeah.
You had to order it out of a magazine.
Man, they put so much more work into Leisure Suit Larry than that.
Oh, they did. Yeah, absolutely.
So-
But what I'm saying is about these games.
Welcome to Dirty Old Men Talk
There,
Podcast.
there is a time in all of these development cycles where, like, they go, here's the API, go nuts,
Yeah.
and people make stuff like these two games, which are Zanarkak and Lunar Pool.
Here's what I did. I immediately went and
Say the
looked.
name of that.
Xanac. It's ZANAC is what it's supposed
Do
to
not
be.
take Xanac if you're allergic to
But
Xanac.
the font does not look like that at all.
Yeah.
Like you have to look underneath there to be like, oh yeah, that's what it is.
rough.
I looked up the ratings on both of these.
Yeah.
Not GameStop, GameSpot. Isn't that the review? Or no, IGN.
Sure.
Sorry. IGN, I don't know how they still, I guess somebody went back and reviewed these. Gave Lunar Pool a 6 out of 10 and Xanac a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
But Lunar
That's
Pool,
way higher
as they
than I thought.
mentioned, was like, this is one of many of like, just one, like they usually have these games. It was like a one trick pony type game. So it was probably like just weird shaped, or I looked it up. It's like weird shaped, different like pool tables.
Yeah.
And you probably just play through that round and you play through 8 rounds and it's done.
I got to tell you, it just hit me that this is actual pool.
What'd you think it was?
I just thought lunar pool. Okay, well, it's like a body of water on the moon.
Oh,
or
yeah, no,
something.
they're actually playing pool.
Yeah, I just got that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm slow on the uptake.
Also, hey, a new
Phantom
reboot of the Phantom.
Oh, Phantom.
So let's go ahead and wrap up
Billy
issue 1.
Zane, right?
Yes, in the movie.
In the movie?
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So
You know what? I kind of like the Phantom. I thought it was a pretty
I
decent
think it was
movie.
pretty good. You know another superhero movie that I feel like, and I might need to go back and rewatch this before I say it, but I'm going to do it. I feel like Darkman was pretty solid.
Oh, I love Darkman. Darkman's
the
a
first one.
fantastic
The
movie.
first one.
Yeah. I don't even count.
But I mean,
that.
like, yeah, like,
They're not canon.
yeah.
But
I'll watch them then.
Apparently he's doing a new one.
Really?
New Darkman.
Like
yeah.
Liam Neeson's going to do it?
I don't know if Liam Neeson does. I know Sam Raimi's doing it.
Okay. But
And
yeah.
what I love
Liam
about
Neeson,
Darkman,
you're Darkman.
what I love about Darkman is the last scene, because when he turns around, who is he? He's Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
That's the last scene. Yeah, it's Bruce Campbell.
I forgot
He's been in it
about
all
that.
along. Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. The
I love that
Phantom,
movie.
the Phantom, I like because of, and this is going to sound weird. Well, I guess it doesn't if you take this into consideration. There, every ad in that movie, like the billboards on the things, and like whenever he's web slinging around town or whatever he does, they're all made up. They're all made up products. I love that.
It's part of the reason, I know we've talked about it too, why I love The Boys so much.
Yeah,
is because
it's
of
all
how
made up
much just
stuff.
in the
Yeah.
world stuff
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're fine. Or
Back
even the
to-
fact that the fan base will then comment like they're in world, like they just take another step forward. Like you watched this last season, right?
Yeah, I've seen them all. Yeah.
Yeah, so when they go through and like they had one that they were selling the new line of like sex toys or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the people commenting on
Yeah.
the Instagram
Yeah.
post would be
Oh,
like,
that was
"Oh, I bought
fantastic.
this. Oh, use code this for like." It's hilarious.
So let's get back to
Yeah, we got way off track. So
Canadian Silver Surfer.
the Atom.
Oh,
we
sorry.
also find out like the weird can make himself temporal in a way, like he can float through. Like
Oh,
he's just this
okay.
all powerful.
Yeah, he's energy. I get
That's
it.
all you need to know to make it easy is that he just
Sure.
has a lot of energy.
Sure.
So he's going to hunt down the
He needs to
Jason.
run around in a circle to burn it off.
He's going to hunt down the Jason because obviously
Okay.
he needs to be there to stop him from creating the bridge, summoning the evil
Right,
energy
sure.
here.
Okay.
Well, he goes there, realizes he's not there. All right. He's like, things aren't right about here. I got about 18 hours. Like he knows like he has to
Yeah.
wait till space stuff to like line up and stuff. So he knows about when he needs to come back. And
So
he's
the
like,
rest of this comic's him just sitting on a bench
Yep.
and like his legs crossed and he's
No.
just like waiting, tapping his fingers.
he's like,
and just,
I got to go take care of something else then.
oh, okay.
And so he flies, and we get to a point where we see the wife and son from earlier in the comic.
The ones that were at the funeral.
Yeah, at the funeral,
Yeah.
and the wife's crying to her friend, like obviously talking about how hard it is, and like I don't know where his body is. I think it had something to do with that Martian Manhunter. Nobody will give us answers. Like, she's
this-
very upset.
We were at a funeral for my dead husband, and a green guy in a cape showed up and then said, "Don't worry about it," and left.
Exactly.
Wow, what a day,
And then his son Billy goes outside.
Billy.
He tells his mom, "Hey, can I go outside and play?" And mom's like, "Yeah." And he runs outside and he hears somebody call his name. And he goes, "Dad?"
Oh no.
The weird has gone to visit Billy.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
I'm going to save this. I'm going to finish up issue 2 real quick.
Gotcha. Sure.
So and then I'll come
I'm
back
not getting.
to that.
I'm not getting stuck on the ads.
Yeah,
I got
and because we're going to come back and we'll talk about those. The
Ooh.
funny thing, we find out, this is something that I found to be funny, is Superman shows back up then after saving the plane, and the reporters are there, and they're all like, "Hey, what happened?" And Superman's like, "We can't really tell you much." And,
He's just an attention whore. He really is.
well, he's not asking, like, they're there talking to him.
yeah, but the only reason the reporters showed up is because Superman's back.
well, he was there when they
Right?
showed up. Like, Superman was back when they
Oh,
showed
come
up.
on. You know that he's got a hand in that. Hey, I'm heading back over here. Y'all
Superman,
just
I'm just going to tell you what. So basically, they spin the first couple panels of each comic,
Yeah.
just explaining to you what happened in the previous one.
previously.
And he's going to tell his whole story in this one. So issue 2 should hopefully be pretty short.
Okay.
But there are things that I did love from Superman being on TV where he's kind of telling him what happened. Basically, the news guy or the news reporter asked him, "Would you mind telling us where you were then while all this was going down?" And Superman's just like, "I was busy elsewhere." He's just kind of,
Oh,
rude.
catty.
And he goes, "So what now?" And Superman goes, "Now I go out, locate the weird," because they're calling him that by now, and return him to custody. And he goes, "How long do you expect this manhunt to take? Days? Weeks?" And he goes, "No, it shouldn't be hard for me to locate someone who looks as odd and as the weird does, even in a city this small." That's what he says. The news reporter says, "There you heard it, folks. Superman predicts he'll succeed where the Justice League failed."
Good Lord.
And
Okay.
you just see Superman in the back go, "Oh, great." I'm just describing one of my favorite moments of this that I actually enjoyed. And he goes, "Oh, great." So he's walking by and the general's like, "Oh, you handled that well." And he gets to Batman and to Green Lantern. And Batman goes, "So Superman's going to succeed where the Justice League failed, huh?"
Yeah.
And Superman goes, "That fool reporter said that, not me." Superman's still a butt. Green Lantern goes, "But you still think that you're better than the League, don't you?" Because Guy Gardner apparently wants to start a lot of fights. That's what I learned from this is Guy Gardner likes to start fights. And Superman says, "Just more experience, Green Lantern." So he's already telling him, like,
Wow.
"I'm not better. I'm just more experienced." And then Lantern says, "You know where you can shove that experience, pal?"
Yikes.
Yeah. And he says, "I think I should advise you, Batman, that Metropolis has a law about keeping your dog on a leash." And he
Yikes.
flies away.
Whoa.
And he says, "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do." Green Lantern in a tizzy says, "Did you hear that crack about dogs and leashes? That was a shot at me, wasn't it? Why I oughta." And we go to the next panel.
Why I oughta.
And Batman looks at Green Lantern and says, "Down, boy," and then walks away.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was just one of the funny parts.
Yeah. See, nobody likes Green Lantern.
No. So we're back to the woman. They just watched the news report. The wife of the
Yes. The wife of
the
Dead Boy.
weird,
Sure.
the weird's wife,
The weird wife.
the weird's human wife.
Sure.
There we go. We're back at her house, and they had the news report on. Essentially, the weird is flying Billy, which was since he's using his dad's body, he's just flying him around, showing him stuff like, "Hey, here's the ocean." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And he's like, "Yeah, your dad wanted to show you this before he died, but never got to." And so he's
So
asking,
Billy knows that this is not his dad?
in a way, like he's
Okay.
confused though. He keeps
Okay.
calling him that, and he's
Yeah.
like, "No, Billy, I'm not. Like I am.
Yeah.
When I took over his body, like I have his memories, but I'm not your dad." Like I look like him. I have those memories, but I'm not. And so he's like, well, I don't get it. And he's like, let me prove it to you. So he like shows how he can like move through things. He picks up a giant rock. He makes it skip across the water. And then he's like, well, where are you from then? And he's like, well, I can't tell you. Let me show you. And so he's able to then alter dream waves and show Billy.
Alter dream waves.
Yeah, and show Billy his world, which is all just like a bunch of lights and glowy things. And this is where we get the story then about all the balls of energy and how Jason is the guy who creates the bridge and brings him over.
That's a lot of words.
It is. So he tells Billy all this, and he's like, all right, we need to go ahead and take you back home. I got to go see the Jason. And I got to, fix all of this. And
That's
Billy's
what I
like,
say when I got to go to the bathroom.
I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to go see the
a man
Jason.
about a Jason.
And Billy's like, will you come back and see me? And he's like, if I am able to, take care of everything with Jason, then yeah, I'll come back and see you again, Billy.
Okay.
Like he's telling him that.
Yeah. Poor kid.
He also talks about, there's a point where he tells Billy too that he's like, hey, do you remember your dad building, I'm showing you this because I think there's, maybe it shows it later.
Yeah.
But he goes, you remember your dad building those ships in a bottle that he made? And Billy's like, yeah. He was like, he really had a lot of fun doing that. Like that was he really got a lot of joy out of that. Like, just want to let you know.
Okay.
There's also a point. I bring that in there because I find that funny.
That has nothing to do with anything?
Well, no, it does come back
Just
up
like, remember
later.
when your dad built those ships?
I want to find it because I also want to find.
Cool.
Hold on. There's a part where there's something.
Do you remember on Saturday Night Live when Farley was on it?
Yeah.
You ever watch any with Farley on them?
Yeah.
He had this character that had a talk show. And what would happen is whatever star was on Saturday Night Live that week would show up to Chris Farley's talk show, right? And they would sit there and there'd be a big introduction and everything. And then Chris Farley would look at him and go, hey, I'm really excited to have you here. Remember when you were in that movie? And they'd say,
yes.
Yeah. You go, yeah, that's good. It'd be like that's how I feel Ships in the Bottle is.
Sorry. Well, no, it comes like I'm trying to find where it was. So there's something also we find out that Jason is awful. Jason Morgan's just terrible for the sake of being terrible. There's like a really emotional scene for something I never understood.
I'm having a real hard time separating Jason from the computer language JSON.
Is that really a thing?
I've been listening to these podcasts about RSS feeds and podcast stuff and things like that. A lot of it's written in JSON, the language.
Really? I didn't know that.
So I keep thinking JSON. Yeah. It's not funny. It's just the way my brain works.
Here we go. I'm sorry about that. I had to find it. So he's talking like he goes and he drops Billy back off because he's going to go fight Jason Morgan.
JSON.
And the weird tells him, your father used to build tiny sailing ships in bottles. And Billy goes, they're still on the shelf in the living room. And the weird says, making those little ships gave him great joy. And Billy
didn't, but the ships did.
And the weird goes, I never experienced the pleasure of creation until your father became part of my life. And Billy says, I see you again. And he's like, if I survive my encounter with the Jason, then I'll come back, right?
JSON.
And then he goes, but before I go, there's something I must say to you. I wanted to find this too. And the weird said, something important. I wanted you to know this. And he turns around to Jason, and his dad's name was Walter Langley. And so when he talks about his dad, he usually calls him Walter or Walter Langley.
Okay.
So the weird turns and kneels back down. So he's eye to eye with Billy. And he says, Walter Langley was neither a verbal nor a very demonstrative man, but he loved his son very much and still does. And then just hugs him.
That's weird.
Right?
That's weird and creepy.
Is that not?
Yeah, I don't like that.
So, and then he says, goodbye, son. And then Billy goes, bye, Dad. And he walks in crying and he just stares at the ships in a bottle.
Oh, no.
I know I'm a terrible person for laughing at that.
Billy goes, you smell like my dad.
Your eyes super big.
Your eyes super big, just like my dad's was. That's why he wore that monocle on one side.
Oh,
wow, that is touching.
Then we get back
Then we get back to Superman.
well,
being a dick.
Superman is hunting down the Weird.
You guys just stay here. I'll take care of it.
And spoiler alert, they have another fight. Superman is able to keep up with them, obviously a lot better than the Justice League can.
I can't imagine that Superman could defeat him, though.
That's the
Because
thing.
if he is literally pure energy, that's something that Superman's never going to be able to defeat.
No.
Because it is a law of the universe.
And that's the thing. So what he does is he chases, like he tries to, and he's able to like keep him off his, back for like 5 seconds, but Superman's always
Yeah.
kind of there.
Yeah.
And the Weird knows, all right, so what he does is Superman is chasing him. So he's floating through things and he has him knock out all the support walls in this abandoned building.
This is cool, though. This is a cool little sequence here.
It's and like you have to look at it because it's
Yeah.
him going down feet first and Superman
but they're
chasing
going through
after him.
floors of a
Yeah.
building. Boom, boom,
There's
boom,
some really
boom.
good art in this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so he knocks out all the load-bearing walls, and Superman notices this, and the Weird just kind of leaves and forces Superman to kind of sit there and catch it, right?
Right.
There's another thing I did find strange. While he's chasing the Weird, there's one point where I told you that the Weird can be temporal and just like move through things.
Right.
So there's a point where he turns and he just moves through a wall of an apartment. Superman just flies through it, creating a hole in these people's apartment.
Oh, how nice.
And the
of him.
old couple's, well, it's an old couple that lives there. And the woman says, I always wanted a window facing in this direction. And her husband replies, I'd even be nicer if it was square and had glass. And so the Weird says, you don't leave as clean as a trail as I do, though. And Superman says, nothing I can't remember, or nothing I can't repair later. I highly doubt Superman's going back and
Superman does
repairing all
not
this
go back
stuff.
and repair anything.
So Superman's forced to basically be able to stay there stuck with all the debris on
There's
his
a whole
shoulders.
damn building crushing down on him.
Yep. The Weird is finally able to disappear. Superman doesn't know where he is.
Eyes just killing
Yeah.
me.
Superman flies off to find him, and all of a sudden the Weird shows back up, and he kind of scares the reporters there, and he just tells the people, hey, they're scared of me because of my unstable molecular structure. They're afraid I'm going to
Sure.
explode.
Sure.
And he leaves to go fight the Jason, and the people are now spooked. They're kind of like, oh, what's going on here?
Well, the people are also without an apartment building now.
Yeah, a lot of people are too.
Yeah.
So essentially, Jason is working on setting up a new portal when he is surprised in the bathroom by the Weird. Oh, I should say,
Yeah.
I'll tell you in the next issue why they're in the bathroom, but that
Okay.
brings us to our halfway point, and I think there's no better time than obviously we've talked about Lunar Pole and Zanuck,
Uh-huh.
but to hear from our other sponsors. Waiting for that FCI money to come in.
Yeah,
Hopefully it'll
that'll
come
be
in
in there.
soon.
I wonder, do you think FCI is still around?
Probably not, or they're some part of another game corporation at some point in time. I wanted to save this just because I found it funny, and I know that we were running a little long in the first half.
Sure.
But they have in the back of this a basically create your own G.I. Joe
Oh, that's kinda
action
cool.
figure page.
It's actually kind of cool.
It was where you
Yeah.
put in like you have 20 characters for your name, and you get to answer all these, like it has a question there for you to fill out.
Yeah.
And it was like,
How many Captain Butt Farts do you think they got, or something like that, right?
can you fit it? You
Well,
probably
I'm
could.
just saying, like, I'm butt fart.
Because it would give you a toy and then like a personalized little card that comes with it. Remember they had the cards that said,
Yeah.
but
Like you cut them out of the back of the package and it said,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll give you a hint at this. Like you can only check one of these, Mike. Okay.
Okay.
You would most characterize yourself as a leader. You're always in control of any situation and inspire confidence.
Yeah, buddy, that's me.
A Corbin, you're the backbone of any group, quiet, efficient, and powerful. Or a loner, you value getting the job done over all else.
I'm a leader, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so essentially you would answer this personality quiz, and you would send it in with your
That's the
information.
quiz?
I mean, no, there's like
Oh,
other,
okay. All right.
like you get to pick a service branch, and your team members consider you to be your best at this. Your primary military specialty is this. This is your secondary. Check what you're a weapons expert in. You're a martial arts expert. You can pick up to 2. Including throwing stars and Zen sword. Those are 2 forms
Zen sword.
of being a martial arts
that's great.
expert. Also, then schooling and training, you can check 3. You could have been in SEAL school, desert training,
SEAL school.
emergency medicine school. So you send that off with a check or money order payable to Hasbro Direct for $7.50 plus $1.50 in shipping. So it was $9 in 1988
That was a lot of money back
to
then.
get. Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
By the way, while you're doing that, FCI is Fujisanki Communications International.
They're still around?
They are the American arm of the Fujisanki Communications Group, a Japanese media conglomerate of television and radio channels, magazine, newspaper, record, and video game companies.
All right.
As far as I know, their parent is Fuji Media Holdings.
Okay. So they are still around.
Well,
Well,
I would like to know whether I should accept that or not.
no. So,
We just get a big Japanese website and it says, it translated it for me.
oh, did it? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
never mind.
that's nice.
$9 in 1988, which was the total cost of that GI Joe,
Yeah.
is now $22.58.
That's about right.
Yep.
I mean, you could see walking into a Toys R Us and you'd go, where the hell am I? Because these don't exist anymore. And throwing down $22 for a...
There's Toys R Us at Macy's now.
Yeah, I don't count that. If they're not a freestanding store, I don't think they exist.
All right, fair enough.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
mean,
can't argue
if
with
somebody
that.
told you, well, Sears is going all websites now, well, you'd go, well, then Sears isn't a thing.
Yeah.
What's the big cookie maze?
Yeah, no, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I'm just moving those out of the way for right now.
All right.
So we get to the last 2, the
Inside the front cover.
grand finale.
Big
yeah,
cookie
it's just a
maze.
giant cookie maze for Chips Ahoy and Chewy Chips Ahoy because they apparently made that nasty stuff back then too.
You don't like Chips Ahoy?
No, okay. If you're gonna come at me last week about cream cheese and Rotel,
Yeah. That
then
sounds
yeah, I'm
gross.
gonna come at you for those gross, nasty Chewy Chips
All right,
Ahoy.
let me see something real quick.
They're
Yeah.
soft. Why do you? I want homemade cookies to be soft like that. I
Sure.
don't want store bought cookies to be gummy. They're like kind of gummy and nasty.
I get it. Yeah, I completely
sorry.
understand, but it still doesn't excuse the cream cheese and Rotel.
The cream cheese and Rotel is actually really good. You just need to get over yourself on that one.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll try anything.
That
once.
seemed very mean. I didn't mean for it
No,
too.
it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Were you able to figure out the maze?
It says, the thing I'm more interested in is at the bottom. It's a betcha bite a chip scale. Betcha bite a chip.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that no matter where you bite on this cookie, you're going to get a chocolate chip.
Oh.
Okay. If on the betcha bite a chip scale, it goes from 0 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
This is Nabasco. Nabisco.
Nabasco.
It's my favorite hot sauce. I don't know what these mean though.
Okay.
Betcha bite a chip scale.
Yeah.
0 chips. Impossible. We told you. Okay. Well, I get it. If you got no chips, that's not a thing. You
Yeah.
can't do it. 1 chip. You're a chip skipper.
Yeah.
So you.
Are they telling you what to call other chip companies based on their
I
chocolate
don't know.
chips per
I don't
bite?
know. There's no explanation here. 2 chips. You're a choosy chewer.
Yeah.
3 chips. Not a bad bit of biting, buddy.
You know what we should do? We should email Chips Ahoy and ask them to explain this scale to us.
Could you please explain the betcha bite a chip scale?
You know
to
what?
us?
You know what? I will hunt down an email address and I'll.
Now, here is something I got called in high school, and I didn't appreciate it. If you bite into 4 chips, you're a chocolate muncher. I don't even know what that means. It just sounds like a bad thing to say.
I'll tell you what I think it means. but I'm
5
just
or
not-
more, you bit a mouthful, try again.
I don't get what they're going off of there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no explanation as to the betcha bite a chip scale.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of paper that's at the bottom of a giant cookie maze.
All right.
That's what I love about advertising, especially this
Oh,
comic
did you
book
read this up
advertising.
here, though?
Oh, it's the
Did you read
best.
the top part up here?
No, I'm not reading the instructions.
Well, it says there are so many chocolate chips in a Chips Ahoy cookie, it's impossible to bite a cookie without biting a chip.
Lie.
See if you can eat through. Oh, see if you can eat your way through the maze. Mike, I figured it out. That's how many chocolate chips you cross through on the maze.
Oh, okay. This is terrible.
Well, that's 7 minutes. I'm not getting back. So
I just love that kind of advertising though, because
I
it's
get
like
it.
it's just so big and stupid.
It's very in your face.
Yeah.
There's an Eminem one in this that I loved seeing too, because to see like they were kind of drawn like they are now then too.
Bet you bought a chip, mofo. That's what it sounds like, a threat.
But
Bet you bought a chip.
It's like the peg game at Cracker Barrel is what this is essentially.
Oh boy, I didn't know how that sentence was ending. You started with peg game. I didn't know where we were going.
I have a video I can send you.
No, thank you.
Okay,
I'm good.
so-
I've seen One Piece.
Oh man. So
It's
issue
weird
3,
that video's
it
called
is.
that too, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Huh. That was all in one piece where
It's
I
just
left
one
it.
piece,
So,
that's right.
or one place where I left it. So
But I wasn't.
we start issue 3 with Billy basically summing up our story up to this point, because that's what they spend the first of each issue doing, to his dog, who looks terrifying
He does
underneath
look
the light.
terrifying.
It looks like he's some zombie dog.
He does. look like a zombie
Later
dog.
pictures of the dog, he doesn't look so scary.
Yeah.
But he basically tells him, I hope Dad's able to beat the Jason. Well,
The dog licks his butt.
what we find out in this story is, did you want to know how the Jason became evil?
Boy, do I.
Because we get Jason's evil backstory in this.
Okay.
While the two are fighting, like obviously there's a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
It's a comic book. Also, chocolate fun for everyone. M&M's plain and M&M's peanut. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Hey, you got to give it up to M&M's for using that tagline for like ever.
Yeah. And you see though, like they're drawn the same, like they look similar.
Do you know where that tagline came from?
No.
It's because of the war. So they would send these overseas because they wouldn't melt like regular chocolate.
I mean, they still kind of do.
I
but-
get it.
yeah.
But I'm saying because of the candy shell, they were able to ship them
Yeah.
instead of regular
No, that
chocolate.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
So
That's why I said it.
we also get,
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
This is really shitty.
we also get that after Millennium, only one Manhunter survives to stalk the world's most dangerous game. Manhunter. I kind of want to read this just because apparently you could get a free mask if you sent off with it.
Oh my God.
And any comic book that offered a free mask with its premiere had to be great.
Well, what I
right?
don't understand is why don't you just print the mask in the thing and have them cut it out?
Well, no, because you can charge people more by doing it this
I
way.
guess so.
So the battle ensues
Manhunter.
between the Jason. Again, I'm going to do the thing
This
where
is
I just
again another
explain.
character that never showed up again. Manhunter. That's not a thing.
I
is
don't
it?
know.
That's not a character.
Are
is
you
it?
talking about the ad? It's his ad there.
Yeah, but I'm saying that dude.
I'm sure he
I've
did.
never seen that guy.
I'll look into it more. Again, Mike, I'm prepared on just our story.
So much work
If,
for you to do.
if I go down every path, I'm going to
understand. I
spend
get it.
all
I'm
week
sorry.
preparing.
I'm
No,
sorry.
no. I know. I'm glad that you
quit your
expected
job
of
and just
me.
do this, would you?
So, but essentially what happens is there's a giant battle going on
Yeah.
between Jason Morgan, who's helping the Macrolots, and the Weird. And what Jason Morgan does is, so the outside forces, a la the rest of the Justice League, who is tracking the Weird, bothers them,
Yeah.
is he basically surrounds them in this giant, the two of them, just Jason and the Weird, in the giant energy cube.
Okay.
And so he's staying in there. So
Love
our
how
story,
you're able to say those things with just a straight face.
well, again, I'm trying to explain it the easiest
Yeah,
way.
I get
So
it.
what
Sure.
happens then is it's the two of them. He traps the Weird. There's a battle going on.
We can come back to that.
Okay.
We're good.
Musicade?
Yeah,
Because
it's
I
an
do
ad.
want to talk
It's
about
an
it.
ad. Yeah, it's great.
So we'll wait to the end of this issue. We'll
So
go back
many
to it.
words.
Dude, and there's so many. Okay, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. Let's come back.
Also, there's an ad for Action Comics.
They're
That
remodeling.
just says remodeling in progress, which I feel.
This is the equivalent of that guy digging on the websites when it said under construction.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's the comic book version of that.
So while this battle's going on, though, eventually Jason is able to get the upper hand because the Macrolots have shown him a trick, and
Sure.
they know that this guy has left their world to come to Earth to try to save it. They're coming for him first, and then they're taking over the rest of Earth, kind of.
These are the Macrolots.
The evil
Not the
energy creature.
Maccabees.
Not the Maccabees. Don't
Like,
get me confused.
In
'Cause I
Jewish
will call 'em-
history, like the Maccabees, right? That's a thing.
No, I believe
The
you.
Maccabees are a thing.
I
right?
believe you.
Okay, all right.
I try not to say things.
I think they're the ones that ran out of oil, but it kept burning.
I don't know. I try not to say things.
get
I'm
it.
not.
I get it. Sure.
But
It's
I
it's
don't-
all me. It's not him.
No.
It's all me. Yeah,
I
get
know.
it.
I believe you.
But the
I don't
Maccabees
know.
were a thing.
I believe you.
I am not up on my Jewish history.
I'm not
don't get me
either.
wrong. but the Maccabees were definitely a deal. Okay. All right. Back to this dude who's half crystals.
So he essentially stops the weird and tells them that the Macrolots, those evil energy, knew he was here.
Yeah.
That he's creating the bridge for them
Okay.
to come over, and in doing so, they're going to turn him into like a king of Earth, kind of.
Okay.
And the weird's like, they're lying. You know, you're going to be one of the first ones that they kill when they take over, like. And he goes to, he's like, why do you even want to turn on your world anyway? And then we get Jason Morgan's just mean story, because obviously we have to have a reason for there to be villains.
Yeah, sure.
Especially for one that's only appearing in 4 issues.
Well, yeah, in a comic book, I mean.
Yeah. So we find out that Jason, his dad, he came home to find his dad had hung himself when he was 4. His mom became alcoholic, and she would always call him special, but at the same time, she was very abusive to him.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, he came home one night, and one of her boyfriends at the time had like cut her up really well, and she bled out in front of him.
Oh my God.
Telling him he was special the whole time. Yeah, like, I mean, why? I don't know. This is his story, though.
Terrible story.
You know, and as she died, told him that he was her special boy. He got sent to an orphanage, but, you know, nobody realized how special he was. So he had to fight because kids would tease him. And then they ended up kicking him out of the orphanage. Then he became homeless, but he realized that, hey, I can't pick up any gals. He's all about like girls and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a point
Gals.
where there's the point. I didn't bring it up because it was very just kind of mean for this. Like, I don't get this. And sometimes comics is like this, but it's just kind of like mean, unnecessarily mean for, I didn't understand the sake of it. And the thing is when Jason Morgan is coming back to his house in issue 2, he's singing like he's been out at the bar or something.
I found me a gal. I'm looking for gals.
Yeah, something
Can't
similar
get the gals.
to that.
Yeah.
But here we go.
Whiskey is my friend.
So no, he's singing Waltzing Matilda is what he's singing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
When he walks in, he unlocks his door to walk into the house. And I know I'm going back to
that's
this,
all right.
but
It's okay.
just to show you the tone of this book.
Yeah.
And he's singing more. And then he goes, Matilda was a sweetie. She had such nice long legs. And he throws, like he's looking at a card, and he throws it down. And he goes, it'll be a long time before they ever find her body.
Oh my God.
And you see a driver's license on the ground, and it says Matilda Gatsby.
Wait, this dude's just like a killer?
Yeah. Don't know why. We should just throw
this
in there.
is a whole different. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Wow.
There's just a panel. Well, the thing I didn't bring it up for,
Holy crap.
because that's never touched on again.
Okay.
It's just 3 panels there.
Can I touch on the Maccabees?
Yeah.
Okay. The Maccabees, they are a group of Jewish rebel warriors who took control of Judea, which at the time was part of the Seleucid Empire. They were able to rededicate the temple at which the miracle of the oil occurred.
Okay.
So I was right. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
I feel good about myself.
There you go.
Because I wasn't putting out bad
No,
information.
you weren't. Mike was putting out good positive. See, you can trust Mike about things.
About the Maccabees.
Just you can trust me about some things.
Sure. Yeah.
Things that I'm telling about Mike that I'm seeing in front of me, you can probably trust about. Other things don't. So we get to find out that
So the dude's a killer.
he is a killer before. I should say that.
He's got a shitty backstory.
Yeah,
His parents
he
were-
gets kicked
one of
out of
them
the
died, and the other one
orphanage.
got
He's
cut up.
homeless.
Yeah.
Just living off the streets.
Sure.
And then eventually he's like, hey, I can't get any dames if I'm, living off the
Yeah,
street.
yeah.
So he gets cleaned up, finds a job
That's
as a
generally why people get off of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
finds the only job he can get apparently is a garbage man.
Okay.
So
That's not a bad job.
it's
by the
not,
way.
but he's like, it
Yeah.
just was something. And then eventually, like after I realized, next thing I know, 5 years had gone by. Like I was just a garbage man for 5 years.
Well, that makes sense.
And then he goes, then one day I thought I really blew it. And there's a girl running by, a jogger. And he goes, she was a real looker. Get ready to be Phil Scummy.
Oh, no.
And he goes, my mouth watered just looking at her.
Oh, gross.
The woman turns back and like she's angry, obviously. If
Yeah.
you would run by or just uninterested and get catcalled, you're just trying to go out jogging.
Yeah.
And he said, her words cut into me like a knife. Funny thing is, I don't even remember what they were now, but they sure hurt then. Something inside me snapped. I couldn't stop myself. A lifetime of pent-up anger took control of me. That's right. It looks like he basically just beats her in the back of the head with the trash can lid.
Oh, how nice.
Because that's great
What a guy.
in your kid's comic. Remember, guys, approved by the Comics Authority.
Yeah.
So they were so worried
Yeah.
at one point in time about that,
Yeah.
but other things. It's just funny how what they want to get involved in when they don't need to.
crazy.
But
Oh, domestic abuse has never been a thing that the comics give a crap about.
yeah, well,
Alcoholism, domestic abuse.
well, that's funny. I mean, there's a whole thing in comics about the trope of the woman in the refrigerator
Yeah.
from Green Lantern, of where it's just like there were women characters created just to be like love interests, just to eventually be killed, just to make the, you know, like that's all they were there for, was just to amp up
to build the character.
Yeah, and that's
I
in that
gotcha.
instance, it was Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern. I don't remember who the villain
It's
was at
got
the
to
time.
make you think. You know,
But yeah.
how much did these guys hate women? These writers.
Well, that's the
and
thing is
stuff,
some
you
of
know?
them. It's funny because there's a was it Gail Simmons who made the website about it, and she's a great comic book writer, but she would find like early on in the internet just different.
I think we've talked about that.
I think we
before.
have
Yeah.
different things of it, and she would write articles like to them like, hey, what do you have to say about this?
It's like the Turing test or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Not the Turing test.
Oh,
but
it's
the, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, the Bechdel test.
Yeah, Bechdel test. Yeah, Turing is the robot thing.
Yeah, the Bechdel test of it's like
Boy, we are all over the place.
we're
today,
nice, but hey,
we're
I know I'm right about the Bechdel test 'cause
imparting
it's,
a lot of information.
to pass the Bechdel test, you have to have two female characters
Yeah.
talk for X amount of screen time
Yeah.
where it doesn't have to involve minute.
Yes,
Like, you know, they're,
yes. Right.
which a lot of comic books don't pass, especially this
Oh
time
God,
either.
no.
Back to Jason.
I don't
though.
remember us including Black Canary at all here at
Yeah.
this point. She's just there.
She's just there.
Yeah.
So
She's saying things like, "Oh gosh,
Yeah.
you know, golly."
He's put in jail for abusing that jogger
Probably
for
a good place
couple
for
of
it.
years. And he goes, but that gave me time to realize I'm special because I'm willing to go. Or no, he goes,
'Cause
I'm
I can do this
special.
with my tongue. And he just,
No, he's like, I'm special because I really don't care about anybody else but myself. That's
Yeah.
what makes me special. I'm like, okay.
wait, what?
So he starts to have dreams, and the Macrolots talk to him in his dreams and tell him all these it's like the
How did they get to
secret
him?
word through his dreams. I don't know.
Yeah, but okay.
We're
So
on-
if I dream, I'm going to get macrobots in my head.
We're done in one issue, so I ain't got
Oh,
time.
okay.
They
All
didn't
right,
have
all
time
right,
to wrap
let's
it
go,
all up.
let's go. Come on,
Not,
sure.
I don't. No, I'm not. I'm
I
just
got you.
saying, like
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
time to
No,
explain all that.
you're right. You're the parent in
So-
this situation. I get it.
So,
It's time to go home.
they
Billy.
tell him like I don't know, like the voiceless words and weird stuff like that to say.
You mean pictures?
Yeah, I don't know of how to create the
Voiceless
bridge.
words? Aren't those pictures?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, all right.
I don't remember. It's
Okay.
it's weird. Basically,
He-
they tell him
he-
how to summon the bridge.
I will say this: he's kind of cool looking.
He is cool
whenever
looking.
he is half green, half person.
And so he
Yeah,
tells them
it's kinda
because
cool.
of that, like, I'm going to create this bridge. They're going to come over. They're going to
Yeah.
turn me into, like, I've never felt better in my life. I'm powerful.
Okay,
Nobody can mess with me.
got it.
I'm out killing pretty women because nobody can mess with
Typical
me.
villain story, you know, origin, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's all about
except
power.
with a lot of domestic abuse and
Right.
now weird
just like the penguin.
rapey, murdery
Sure.
tendencies. So, nobody can get into this brick while it's happening.
Rapey, murdery tendencies.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
He
I
does.
get it. Yeah. It's good.
so the weird is also stuck in this, energy ball behind him. Eventually, he's like, "I'm going to try to trigger my own explosion to be able to get the cube to power away to be done with." He's able to create some explosion right at the time where he's opening the gate, and two Macrolots are able to escape out.
Oh no.
But the force, the blast, moves, like gets rid of the shield, and the Justice League are able to, or no, I'm sorry, the blast breaks the weird out of his shield.
Okay.
He's still alive. The two Macrolots are able to leave out of the energy cube.
Okay.
Nobody else can get in, but these two things, who are stronger than the weird, obviously, are able to leave and get out.
All right.
So we have a final showdown between the weird and this Jason guy, but he's crushed the Jason guy's crystal that he's made to help that bridge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his explosion
This is
has
the first-
basically taken away his ability to summon
Oh, okay.
when he escaped. So he told him, like, I'll just learn the words again. Like, I'm going to get
I'll
more
say the
over
damn
here.
words.
He's like, you're not going to stop me from helping them.
Yeah.
And the weird holds his hand up to him and sends like a concussive blast
Okay.
through his hand. And it just kind of like knocks him out a bit, but he's still alive.
Like being hit with a trash can
Yeah,
lid.
I guess, but he's still alive and staring at him. His eyes are looking up at him. And the weird's like, well, I've learned too much about freedom by being in this human body. I can't let you take it from everybody else then. If you're truly going to keep trying that,
No.
then I have no other choice. And he just snaps his neck and kills him.
Oof.
To which the Justice
Good
League
enough for
then,
him.
after him dead, the shield drops down. And so the Justice League just sees him standing over a dead body with a snapped neck.
Yeah.
So they're like, we still can't trust this guy.
Yeah.
The two other little
Where
macrolots,
were
though,
they this whole time?
the Justice League,
Yeah.
everybody but Superman is just out kind of like watching around the cube trying to figure out how to get in.
Oh, okay. All right.
Superman's off doing other, like saving people, still looking, trying to hunt the weird down.
Kittens.
What happens is the macrolots do find two hosts. He essentially tries to the weird things. I got to tell them that this is a mercy killing. I should tell them my story.
Sure.
They're not going to trust me no matter what I tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, all right, well then never mind. I guess I'm just going to try to go and still take care of the macrolots while I can. Martian Manhunter kind of is able to use his invincibility to stop him. And they're like, all right, now that we have him stopped, we need to go get Superman. And they hear that won't be necessary. And they see Superman and a guy who goes by the name of Nukton, whatever. It was an 80s character. I didn't look up into him too much, but
Okay.
it was a tie-in there. They're the two most powerful beings they could find on
See
Earth.
this dude with the mohawk?
Yeah. They're the two most powerful beings they could find on Earth,
Yeah.
and the macrolots have
Oh,
taken
they took over
them.
them. Ah.
So that is setting up our
gotcha.
final battle.
Okay.
I wanted to also say
Killing
this.
Joke. Yeah.
Killing Joke came out the same year as this.
That is hard to believe.
Right?
Yeah. Killing Joke is like one of the
it's
pinnacles.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan Moore. I think we've talked about how much I love Alan Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back real quick before we wrap up the greatness that is the weird. Mike, are you tired of this yet?
Musicade?
Yeah, Musicade. This is the part you're for.
All right.
So Musicade is the world's greatest rock and roll catalog.
Yeah, it is.
The best quality, largest selection anywhere.
Boy, oh boy.
My favorite thing was that you could buy a Musicade the video for $9.95, and it was thousands of items shown in full color, plus lots more, 90 minutes. Essentially, you could pay $10 to get a VHS tape of them showing you everything else they sold.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and give Mike that to look over. Basically, Musicade, it's a lot of different just products for different bands
It's
and stuff
music
at the
stuff.
time.
Yeah. So keychains, T-shirts, back patches, embroidered back patches, other patches, a lot of patches, full color posters, Velcro Velcro wallets. Yeah, it came in VHS or beta. That's great. Thousands of wow. Huh. So you had bands like Aerosmith, Anthrax. It's on here twice. Bon Jovi. Celtic Frost, Def Leppard, Exodus, Grateful Dead, Guns N' Roses. If you don't know what time of the planet this is when I say the names of these bands, then you are not paying attention. Poison, Police, Randy Rhoads by himself, SOD, Sid Vicious by himself, Slayer, Stryper, Whitesnake, ZZ Top. Man, Musicade, that's where it's at.
So let's go ahead and wrap up the weird
Okay.
with the explosive finale,
Yeah.
which I can sum up super quick because again,
Fighting Superman.
that's all it is. The
Okay.
whole issue is them essentially fighting Superman
Sure.
and the rest of the Justice League.
Boy, they are really hawking that lunar pool, aren't they?
Yeah, every
Boy, oh
single
boy.
issue has had Lunar Pool. in it.
Everybody wants some lunar pool.
But the whole issue is then essentially the weird telling Batman, hey, this is the story. This is how everything happened.
Mm-hmm. This
and
is the
how we got
catch-up
to where
part.
we were.
Yeah.
This is the catch-up part.
Sure.
So they're fighting. The Weird has an idea of what I've learned here essentially too, is that you guys value thought more than just pure energy. Like the Macrolots are all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were always a little smarter. Let me see if I can just play off of them being idiots in a way.
Okay.
And so like essentially we watch as like everybody else fails against him while he's telling them, hey, I'm your noble slave. By the way, we talked about Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
I talked about all the space stuff. Something else we have covered. Jim Starlin also
the Cult.
wrote Batman the Cult,
Yeah.
which is really good.
Wow, that's cool.
So we talked about
I
Drax and Thanos.
I never would have thought that Killing Joke and this are in the same time frames.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all the same year, actually. It's 88.
That's crazy.
So,
wow. 88. Good year.
and it was. That was the year I was born. So, like a fine wine. Comics, they're hit and miss.
I was 19.
Wow, Mike, you're old. So, that was mean.
It's
I'm
okay. I don't give
sorry.
a shit.
So,
Gotta take my medicine.
my alarm's going off too.
I actually do have pills in my pocket that I need to take.
Mine are out in the car. So I'm slowly getting there. So yeah, the Justice League cannot kill these two brutes.
Yeah.
The Weird is trying to use his
Well, it's freaking Superman. I mean, what do you
exactly.
You know?
So he tries to tell him like, hey, like
Hey, dude.
you guys don't know like the power. It helps you right now against these creatures, but intellect is king here.
Mhm.
Is what they're essentially telling everybody.
Plus, look at my kick-ass White Snake patch.
that I got from Musicade. I have a VHS where you can see all
That's
they
right. You can
have.
see all the patches.
And so like he tells them like, all these like these humans like listen
Somebody
to me.
paid for that, you know?
They
Somebody ordered that.
Like a lot
That's
of
what
them.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people
So
did.
that's out there somewhere.
somebody's mom. Just know your mom ordered that.
I want that Music Kid tape.
Dude.
Okay.
I wanted to see if I could find it on when we're done with this episode. You and I are just gonna look to see
Yeah,
if we
no
can find
kidding,
it on
right?
YouTube.
We'll just find one.
So he convinces them like, you need intellect. Like these most powerful forms aren't going to work for you. And he convinces them, he's like, here, like I have so much intellect, like use me like to kind of take from it. And they get close enough to kind of like suck the energy out of them. And he reaches in and steals their Maclarot, whatever form.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
And
I see.
then
So he pulls it right out of him.
He pulls it right out of them. And
Well,
then
this
he
dude
crushes
with the
them in his
mohawk is stupid looking.
and then he crushes them in his hands, and that's the end of that. Yeah, all that built. That's the big fight. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then they realize, oh, his molecular structure is still messed up. He's like, I got 2 days. I can tell, like I can sense my body clock. I'm going to be alive for 2 days. All right, what do you want to do? We can help you with whatever. So he goes out and he
Buy him a hot
essentially,
dog.
no, I'm kidding. He goes out and he like sculpts this island. But essentially what he does, and then Superman goes and picks up Billy because he wants to show Billy it. He said he'd see Billy one last time.
Superman.
And so he's made a ship out of an island. Remember, because Walter Langley built ships and models.
Oh, yeah.
So he built ship out of an island
Yeah, that's the same thing.
to show Billy. And he's like, hey, Dad, I love you. Can you stay? No, you can't. All that. I got to go. He wipes his tears away. John Johns takes Billy away. Billy's crying.
Wait,
the
John
mom,
Johns?
Yeah, John Johns.
Oh, John Johns.
Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
The wife was invited to show up there too, but she was like, nah, she couldn't think she can handle it. Like we explained everything to her, but she doesn't want to see you. So Billy cries as he leaves. Then Green Lantern and Superman basically fly him
Billy, what a
out
crier.
to the most darkest, densest regions of space and just
Sure.
leave him there.
Yeah.
And they fly away and watch him. And he says, goodbye, freedom. Goodbye, life. As he's crying himself on this planet, feeling himself starting to like. And Green Lantern says, how long do you think he has left? And Superman says, seconds. And the next thing we see is a giant explosion. And Superman is crying over the Weird.
man.
This guy he knew for like 2 days, 3 days.
Yeah. That
And-
he wasn't even there for most of the time.
Yeah. And so they fly back home.
What a turd.
And all you see, it ends honestly with like the explosion from out in space with just
Yeah.
the ship in the background. And that's the Weird.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
But Killing Joke came out later.
Killing
so
Joke.
that's
Yeah,
great.
there you go.
So there you go.
Wow.
I did ask
Okay.
I came across these ads. I was reading this with the wife by me, and I said, if we ever get to a point, do you think it'd be interesting if we did like for special episodes? Like I found one of these like Terror in the Isles, or there's one in, it's not the Chips Ahoy one. It's the second issue where it's like beat Bond at his own game. And it is very much like a Dungeons and Dragons, but it's called Top Secret. If I could like hunt down this old 1988 role-playing game and force you to play it, if that would be entertaining.
There's no forcing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play
And
it.
she said, that sounds awesome. So eventually we might have to do something like that too.
Oh, yeah. No, I would love that. That would be
So that is the weird.
Musicade 88 is not on YouTube. Just letting you know.
Dang it. What I do have, and I feel like we talked about it a little bit, maybe my cousin and I did, what I'm going to plan on doing the next ones.
Yeah.
Not trying to squeeze too much. I usually find when we try to squeeze X amount of issues into an episode, we get a longer one here, and it kind of, gets a little winded, but there was a lot to cover.
Right.
I just didn't feel like, I thought about breaking this up into.
You can't break up the weird. Come on.
Well, I thought about breaking it up in like 2 separate episodes,
It's the
but
weird.
it wasn't good enough for 2 separate episodes.
It really wasn't good.
So, and that's what we did.
You ever
we
feel
went
like,
in blind, so we
you ever
did
feel
it.
like they have like these stories, and then they're like, I tell you what, let's just throw a bunch of heroes at it, and that'll
I
be
don't
fun.
know. Like, it's not an awful
Throw
story.
some
Like,
Batman
I've
in
read
there.
worse for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, sure.
It's
sure.
just not. I mean, it was what it was.
Well, I mean,
the
there's
art
there's
is
the
good.
one about
There's part of it that's
STDs.
cool.
So yeah, there's worse out
Oh
there.
yeah. There's a lot
Definitely.
worse, but a lot of cool ads in there.
Yeah.
Musicade.
Cool ads. Musicade.
Um,
Musicade 88.
I do have some of World's Finest. I'll tease coming up with
The chocolate?
No, some Batman and
Oh,
Superman.
okay.
World's Finest. That includes Batman being put on trial for being a witch,
Oh,
and
neat.
Superman may or may not be possessed by a demon and fight for the British Army.
Oh, cool.
So we got stuff like that to look forward to. I think I'm going to focus on a lot of that. Also thought about doing like maybe for Christmas, a crossover Christmas where I could find some of the just weirdest crossover comics.
Oh, I love that. Crossover Christmas.
Yeah, for the
Boy.
month of December.
You know, I really do appreciate all the thought you put into this.
I try
I really
to.
do. Yeah, you do a great job.
I have fun with it. So
Yeah.
just some things to look forward to coming up. As always, appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. You can find us on Instagram, Bro Foe Hero. Also on Twitter, Bros, Foes, and Heroes, or email us, brosfoesandheroes@gmail.com. Also, please visit roguemedianetwork.com
RogueMediaNetwork.com.
for a slew of other fantastic podcasts in our podcast family. A lot of great stuff out there for you to go check out as well.
Yeah, and go Musicade.
Go Musicade. If you can find that 1988 video,
Yeah, buddy.
or if you have a White Snake patch.
Oh, man. Come on. Now you've opened the door.
But I want it to be the 1988 Musicade White Snake patch.
not
I'll be
this-
able to tell if it's the 87 or the 89.
Well, you don't want to go into, what's that store that they all go to with the
Patches?
yeah, Patches. Patches the store.
Patches
Love
are
it.
us.
Shit, what's it called? Not the Buckle, but Hot Topic.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay.
You don't want them going, yeah, Bed Bath and Beyond to get their White Snake patch.
Yeah.
White Snake
Hot
bedding.
Topic. I still get stuff at, well, I mean, I don't get stuff at Hot Topic, but there's things at Hot Topic that I feel like fall within my
Really?
likes of stuff still. Yeah.
Yeah. I just see a lot of like
It's probably a little of the old emo in me. Still
I
in there.
saw somebody the other day, like 28 years old, wearing a Jimi Hendrix shirt. I'm like, you weren't there. What are you doing?
Hold on. I mean, that kid's only
I
like
mean, I
6 years
guess,
younger than me. Can
yeah.
I not wear a Jimi Hendrix shirt?
No, I don't want you wearing one.
Really? But I love Jimi
I don't
Hendrix.
give a shit. I was just joking. I don't know. I just feel like Hot Topic. You know, whenever you look in there, it's all like recycled stuff.
But no, I love Jimi
For the most
Hendrix.
part.
Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
That's what I keep hearing.
You
Hey.
ever read? Sorry, this is just randomly. Made me think about it.
Yeah.
You ever read any of those lists where it's like top misheard lyrics, and then it
Yes.
has things like that, and you're
Yes.
like, I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've never thought that.
Yeah, there's some
All
where
right.
it's like bubble gum on your headphones or what, and I'm
And
like,
you're
I don't know what the hell you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but the other ones, then some like.
I'm gonna make a recommendation to you.
Oh, okay.
Just real quick, okay,
Okay.
and then we got to go. You know who Nathan Fielder is?
Yes.
Nathan Fielder. He
Yes.
did Nathan for You,
Yes, on Comedy
the
Central.
TV show. Did you watch that?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I didn't watch a lot of it, but the
Okay.
episodes I watched, I did find them humorous.
There's a show he's made
On HBO.
Yep,
It's called
The Rehearsal.
Yes. I've heard good things about it. Have not watched it.
My God.
Okay.
Very, very good
Is
stuff.
it awkward comedy
It
or
is. It is awkward to a bit.
is it like
It's him, so it's
Yeah.
exactly what he makes. But dude, watch them in order. Number one, which you don't think you have to, but watch them in order, and it is one of the weirdest endings, especially for him. I'm like, oh, look at you, Nathan, and it's like a whole different side of him. Yeah, I'm just telling you, it is unexpected. It's funny. It's super awkward, but it's good. He
All
does a hell of a job.
All right.
Yeah.
My other buddy of mine keeps telling me to, and I need to get back into it. Did you ever watch Righteous Gemstones?
Oh yeah.
He's
A lot of it's good. Nothing is ever going to be as good as the baseball one, though.
Eastbound and Down?
Yeah, nothing's ever going to be as good as that. And they keep trying to do it.
We are never gonna die.
That, Vice
man.
Principals, and then Righteous
But they're
Gemstones.
all
It's all the
good.
same.
Yeah, they're all solid
the same
still.
guys. Yeah.
But yeah, so I gotta go back and rewatch that too. But no, I'll make sure and check it out then.
Oh, you should. It's 8 episodes, I think.
Okay, so that's
Super easy.
30
yeah, you can
minutes?
blow through it. Yeah, I think they're about 30, 40 minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah. It's just
especially since I don't need to watch any more One Piece.
No, please don't watch any more One Piece. I don't know how you do this show, that show, and not feel bad about yourself afterwards. You had to scar some people.
No, then now I don't
Had
want to
to.
watch it.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to watch something where people get scarred.
There's a kid that's growing up out there that has no idea what life is. Yeah, it's rough.
No.
It's very good though.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I liked it. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. It's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Am I having nightmares about it?
No, it's not like that. No, it's not
Okay.
like that. No.
Okay.
It's comedy. When you break it all down, it's comedy.
I didn't mean like I didn't mean
But
like
it's like-
nightmares. Like I mean I was just the sheer awkwardness out of
It's
some
like
of it.
it's just meta on meta on meta on meta. I mean, it's like it's like a Russian nesting doll.
Okay.
It's
Then
just
yeah, I'll give it a shot.
something inside something inside something. Oh,
I'll give it a shot. All right.
good job.
As always, guys, thank you for taking the time out to listen to us. And until next week, stay safe, everybody.
Got it, gun.
Pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about pros and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.